But on single-member districts, I would much rather have the federal courts oversee the drawing of the lines on single-member districts than the school board itself drawing it.
Why?
Well, I think that the ultimate result will be a fairer and more impartial district as pertains to black, brown, and white Americans, as opposed to having the school board itself draw the lines. There's been charges and counter-charges of the gerrymandering that can and will go on. For example, I think that there has to be a lot of thought given to what's going to happen to the Mexican American, for example, because any single-member district drawn cannot be drawn in such a way as to have the Mexican American assured of a place on the school board. By the same token, in terms of the black community, the lines can be drawn so that there is one, or there is two, or perhaps there's a possibility of three black Americans that could run and be elected to the school board.
The School Board Election Committee talked about changing the election procedures to include 6-year terms. Now, what are your views on that?
Well, I'm very disturbed that 6 years is a long time. It's a long time to ask a man or a woman to serve on any board. I can see some problems with it. I personally would much prefer a 4-year term. We don't even elect a president for 6-year terms.
What problems do you see?
Well, for example, I think that you're going to have individuals who, after 2 or 3 or 4 years, are going to get tired. You'll wind up having either special elections, which defeats part of the purpose of having a 6-year term, or you'll have resignations and the board appointing other individuals, which once again takes it out of the hands of the citizenship, because the people who are appointed aren't obviously elected. These are the kind of problems I see. Plus, you know, 6 years is just a long time for someone to commit themselves to the School Board of Education.
In your views, how should school elections be held?
Well, I tend to prefer that they be for 4 years. I tend to prefer that they not get involved with other issues other than school board issues. Have given a lot of thought and talked to whether or not it would be best to combine the city and the school board elections, whether or not the city politics and the city issues would overshadow the school board issues. On the other hand, perhaps you get better voter turnout. These are some of the things that you have to concern yourself with, and we're concerned about it. And probably we'll make an appearance before the school board next Wednesday to give them our thoughts in terms of how we think, or at least how one of the organizations that's concerned about education in Dallas thinks the school elections ought to be held.